Substitution exercise. The idea of substitution in acting was articulated by Yevgeny Vakhtangov, and is a central motif in approaching the work on a character or scene. Vakhtangov said, "A notebook isn't a box of chocolates, but an actor can act as if it were." Substituting a person, or an event from your own life unrelated to the play can justify your actions, give you the value needed in the scene, and enhance the idea of actor's belief without which there is little truth to be found. Strasberg sometimes used the term person as a personal object, where rather than using an inanimate personal object of importance, you choose an actual person as the object of exploration. Interestingly, in psychology people are also considered objects, as expressed in the psychological theory of object relations, which addresses the nature of each person's attachments to other people. In class, I set up a variation of the substitution exercise, in which I ask you to choose, for example, the person in your life you most strongly loathe or love. Actors should strive for high ethical and moral standards in regard to their art. However, as an actor, you can't be uncomfortable with strong negative feelings. You must embrace, understand, and make contact with them. It doesn't mean that you hate a person more than your actual feelings, or that the person would ever know, or that anyone will judge you for doing so. It's just an acting exercise, and those feelings come with the territory of being an actor. If the memory of that person you tried to despise can make you flush with anger or blush with embarrassment reliably and on cue, you've learned a valuable skill for your acting when you need to blush or be embarrassed in a scene. The ability to increase the level of intensity of any feeling is available each time you do the exercise. Craft enables you to have the flexibility to be able to repeat your work at will and not rely on how you are feeling on any particular day. Without a technique, you'll at best just be able to imitate your idea of a hateful or happy person. The artistry comes when you've learned to reliably experience those sensations firsthand to evoke for your work. As with much of your use of the method exercises, no one has to know exactly what you're working on, except by experiencing the quality of your acting and its ability to express different levels of emotional intensity. Strasberg warned us that by talking too much and telling your stories to other people, you give away your power. Save it for your acting. Exercise steps. After you do relaxation, choose a person for the exercise who has made a deep impression on you and may still be significant in your life. When you think of them, strong responses are evoked, good or bad. It can be someone whose comportment, eccentricities, or mannerisms might fit the character and scene you're working on. The person you chose can be alive or dead and from any time in your life. Focus on the imaginary person through each of your 5 senses. The exercise is done with your eyes open and mostly standing up. If you sit in the chair for too long, the exercise becomes static and only a mental image. On stage our eyes are open. You can't shut everything out. Be active and physically explore the person, working slowly and specifically. Reach out and imagine touching their face or patting their hand. Establish their body type, posture, facial features, style, clothing, hair, what they smell like, the feel of their skin, what their voice sounds like, their breathing, their laughter, or their footsteps. Explore every sensory aspect of the person to establish their concrete existence. You don't go back to imagining the age you were when you knew the person. It's your response as you encounter them now, that's the new reality. With time, you and your reactions and feelings about the person may have changed, and they may not be at all what you envisioned. Therefore, don't anticipate a result. During your training, you experiment with different people. You can observe them in real life, or you can look at photos of them, although it's not necessary. The impact of the relationship must be consequential and engender feelings that could shed light on the character you're working on. Connecting the memories, feelings, and impulses you have about the person using a substitution can be emotional, however, you don't push for anything emotional to happen. Stay with the senses, and let the feelings emerge organically. It's through each sense, one by one, that the person comes alive to you most directly. Your reimagining of this person may be associated with a special place or other people. Don't let yourself wander off or run a particular story or scenario in your mind. That may be valuable, but for now, get back to the exercise. Simply recognize when you're straying, and breathe, relax, and focus on the sensory details of the chosen person. Note what senses or objects gave you reactions that you could possibly use for future work. Which details elicited the most revolting feeling or filled you with immense joy? Note them in your journal. Experiment and practice, while using all kinds of interesting people you know to build up a rich repertoire to substitute in your work. You must evaluate for yourself if the exercise worked or not. If, for example, you're working on the lost, empty feelings from a breakup, you don't have to use a real breakup to evoke the desired value for the scene. That's too literal. Look for a parallel reality. You can use anyone who makes you angry or sorrowful and fits the particular context. Be careful to not use events and people that are currently volatile in your life. You must be in control, and these things take time to process. You can substitute an entire event from your own life in which the circumstances were different from that of the play, but the behavior might be appropriate and logical for the scene. Strasberg called this personalizing the event. Sometimes actors will bring in an actual physical object as a reminder of the person to rehearsals or performances to strengthen their connection. I've already pointed out that Stanislavski, at certain performances, would privately hide a personal object on the set to motivate him, or to give him a certain feeling while acting.